Thank you for joining us for a quick overview of the Strategic Instruction Model, more specifically, the Strategic Math Series. Because as a professional educator, you are a critical consumer of education strategies and only want the best for your students, we think it's important to provide this background information and share some data with you. In the mid-1970s, the University of Kansas Center for Research on Learning was created to address learning challenges of students with disabilities. Their goal was to unravel the strategies of successful learners, that is, how they acquire, store, and apply their knowledge, and then teach those strategies to struggling learners. In this way, all students can become successful learners. What we really admire about the Center for Research on Learning is that they didn't put the cart before the horse. They recognized a student need and worked to find solutions. Over the past more than 40 years, they continue to study why students struggle and the challenges that students face, ask for and receive federal funds to create and test lessons and materials, and then gather actual classroom data in field tests so they can refine and validate the effectiveness of the lessons. Once lessons and strategies are proven effective with actual students in real classrooms that have a broad range of learning needs, the University of Kansas Center for Research on Learning publishes their findings in instructional guides. These are content enhancement routines and learning strategies. The Strategic Math Series is a learning strategy. The Strategic Math Series is an instructional series for teaching fundamental math concepts. It uses an understandable sequential method to build conceptual mastery, which is a foundation for solving more advanced math problems in the future. The math series was developed by the University of Kansas, tested in actual classrooms over a number of years, and refined for effectiveness. It can be used for both initial instruction and remediation. We think the Strategic Math Series may meet some of your personal goals while you're with us today. You probably have some students who struggle to master math concepts, and you want to effectively reach and teach them during primary instruction or during remediation. Why are we so focused on math? Current data indicates many elementary school students are not mastering fundamental math concepts, which has led to struggles in higher mathematics. In 2019, the state of Florida set this math achievement goal for students with disabilities, that 61% of students with disabilities would pass the Math FSA with a 3 or higher. The actual percent of students with disabilities scoring a 3 or higher was about 30%. This has been a fairly consistent outcome for students with disabilities over the past several years, around 30% pass the Math FSA. What about the performance of all students? These are the descriptions of the FSA performance levels published by the Florida Department of Education. Please note that at level 3, what we call passing, students may need Tier 2 interventions to be successful in the next grade. Level 4 is considered proficient, meaning students are likely to succeed with typical teacher support at the next grade level. The colors of these performance levels will match colors in the bar graph you'll see in just a minute. This graph represents results from the spring 2019 Math FSA for grades 3 through 5. This is the most current data that we have. Please take just a moment to examine it. At first glance, this data looks good. 62% of the 3rd through 5th graders tested passed the Math FSA. But consider that at level 3, the green bar, students may need Tier 2 interventions to be successful at the next level. Students at level 4, the bright teal bar, are proficient and likely to succeed at the next level. Students at level 5, the darker blue bar, show conceptual mastery of fundamental math operations and ideas. Less than 40% of all students tested scored a level 4 or 5, proficiency or mastery. Based on this local data, more than 60% of our students have not been very successful in mathematics. The question is, why aren't students reaching proficiency? The Center for Research on Learning Research indicates it might be related to the curriculum, the methods used to teach students math. These are the field test results from actual classrooms using the Strategic Math series. The blue bars are pre-test results, and the red bars represent post-test results in addition, subtraction, place value, multiplication, and division. Multiple field tests were conducted that involved 56 teachers and 248 elementary students who were experiencing difficulties learning math. These field tests took place in 7 school districts in self-contained, resource, and general education classroom settings. The teachers were trained to use programs in the Strategic Math series. Different groups of students were taught addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or place value concepts and skills depending on their need. The teachers followed the step-by-step instructions in the appropriate instructors' manuals depending on the skills to be learned. These are the results. Substantial gains, 300 to 400%, were made by the students in all areas. Specific field test information and results for each topic will be found in that topic's manual. We'll point it out as we work through each of the instructor's manuals. It's very important to note that in these classrooms studied, teachers implemented the complete sequence of lessons in the manual to get these results. When we omit lessons or practices or leave out word problems, students do not get the same benefits. Thank you for joining us for this brief overview. Will you please go to the next topic in our Flipgrid and complete the reflection task?